when a woman, even if she's religious, if she chooses, a woman, even if she's Christian, even if she's Catholic, she reserves the right at any time to become a feminist and then divorce the man, and then she can get alimony and all these other things and financially ruin him. And it's not about who hurt me. It's about seeing that when religious women get divorces, they don't go to God, they don't go to their priest, they don't go to a pastor, they don't go to the church. The state presides over your marriage, not your religion. And you will seek recourse through the state. And the state is going to say, well, community property, alimony. So I'm good. I'll pass on marriage. Good talk. Do you have any suggestions on how religions intend to address the absolute corruption of the state of the family court system in this country?
Well, actually, Christian marriages, like the high statistic of people who stay together are a man and woman who pray together every single night. Like there's statistics that show like Christians who are actually practicing their faith, they stay married.
Well, the study,
and they also have the least marital problems.
The study you're referencing about like something like 1% of, or the divorce rate is 1% among Christian couples who pray together. I don't know how frequently they pray, but they pray together. I believe that was done in the 1990s.
Dustin underscore S donated $100. Alyssa is marriage material. Modestly dressed, conservative, feminine, and apparently humorous with the curtsy. I throw my hat in for position of husband number 3. Coffee and chat for our first date.
Do you accept,
I don't like
Dustin?
coffee. But
Are you more of a tea? You
no,
prefer
I'm
tea?
a hot chocolate type of girl.
Hot cocoa. Are you down though? By the way, I want to just say, Dustin, he saved me from a raccoon attack once.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, it was wild. So I co-sign.
As a charity for lost dogs.
Yep.
We'll see.
Oh, so the study you referenced, I believe it was in the early 1990s, which was over 30 years ago, very long time ago. A lot has changed in the culture since then. Chiefly social media, dating apps, and the proliferation of OnlyFans, right? So the dating marketplace, the landscape, hellscape has totally changed. So the study that you referenced is so outdated. I don't think it can apply to modern day.
I think that if you're like a Christian with a relationship with God and that's what your marriage is based on, you're not going to be participating in OnlyFans. Sorry, Daphne.
Right, but...
And you're not going to be, watching porn or... Like, that's what having a relationship with God is, if you're actually pursuing your faith and taking it seriously. So I don't think those types of marriages have a high chance in divorce. But I know you're an atheist, so you probably do have a high chance of divorce, Brian.
Am I an atheist?
From what you've said on this show
He's
before.
been reading.
I'm a man of God. However...
But you don't have to get married. I don't think anyone has to get married or anything.
I am a man of God. However, the state of marriage is untenable for men in the West.
And women.
No,
It's a
well,
massive risk, for
it's...
Where do you look for the women that you're pursuing?
Where do I look?
Yeah, like what are the
passport
usual...
bros. They're going to different
They come to
countries.
me.
Yeah, so if you're only looking at the women around this table, like every time you have a show.
Nickelodeon donated $100. Yeah, Alyssa
Yeah.
seems okay.
I like
I'm
how
a Chad
he-
engineer that likes demeaning my GFS. Can I get in line for husband number
Wow,
4?
Alyssa is really popular.
No.
Okay, have you sworn off marriage? Are you just done with marriage?
Jesus
I mean-
would have to walk me down the aisle at this point.
Guys, grow a beard and grow your hair out. That's the only way.
Yeah, I mean, who said passport bros? Was that you? I've been referred to as a passport bro many times.
Really, for coming to the... I thought people are fleeing
Well, because
from the
last
United
year, for
States.
example, I traveled to maybe 20 different countries or so. And I did do a little bit of dating here and there. And then people often ask me, what is the best sort of nationality for a woman? And I've come to the conclusion that it's a woman who fears God. That's it. Because if you date an atheist woman, then she just doesn't have this sense of accountability, and she doesn't understand the relationship between man and woman. She doesn't understand what it means to be in that unity. But if you date Christian women, they're really aware of it, like really lucidly aware of it. So I'd say that you're probably right about that, but I mean, maybe this study would have been a bit
Well, yeah,
different by
marriage
now.
is like a really difficult thing. So honestly, I just don't see, if you don't have God at the center of your relationship, yeah, I think it has a really high chance of failing for both sides.
Well, I mean, I can think of some examples, but it's not clear to me if even people who are devoutly religious, at any time, you can always change your view on things. You can always, as women, you reserve the right to become a raging liberal feminist at any point in your life.
God, you'd mess up. So if you were with a really Christian woman, for example, like a woman who's waiting for marriage, and then a few years down the line she becomes a raging feminist, you are a terrible read of character. Because those values are something that are really sort of fundamental to the person, and it takes like a lifetime of training to sort of get yourself there, and to then turn it around, it'll be like a massive spiritual shift for that person.
And
I mean,
it's just
there's
a low
lot
chance of that happening. So I don't think your argument is very valid. Like, you're just talking like...
Yeah, a person can become anything with time. But
Nick,
like, why
can
would
you Google the divorce
that
rates
extreme?
among the various religious groups? I'm just curious.
Yeah,
Also,
well, you
like-
mentioned before, like nominal Christians, though.
Yeah, like, I don't even think those statistics would be valid. I'm talking about an actual spiritual relationship with God where they're pursuing it. Anyone can say they're Christian or even go to church, and they can still, be watching porn on the side.
Look, that's fine. The reality is that the divorce industry is I don't know if it's a $1 billion industry. You can pull it up, Nick. Could you make it a little bigger and make us smaller? Yeah, that's probably a little easier. Marital status, can you make it bigger? Yeah. That's fine. Buddhist, divorced. Okay, scroll down. Evangelical Protestant. Wait, but hold on. Scroll up. What's the title of this? Marital status. Is there something just for... We'll keep it here. Divorced, 14% for Protestant next. Hindu, small. Historically black Protestant, 19. Jehovah's Witness, 12. Jewish, 9. Mainline Protestant, 7. Muslim, 8. Mormon, 7. Unaffiliated religious nuns. Is unaffiliated atheist? Or
Yeah, religious nuns usually means like...
I think it might be the other
unaffiliated,
color.
they're less...
Snake donated $100. For the rings, I bought my wife a $400 ring. After X years of marriage, I got her a $30,000 ring. She was with me when I was grinding, and she's rewarded when we're coasting. Gold ding to your own grave and...
Gold ding to your own grave and? Gold ding?
Gold digging?
Gold dig?
Probably.
Digging?
Bought my wife. Okay, well, that's nice of him. He upgraded the ring.
I don't think it's gold digging to want a man who's financially stable enough to afford
waste
a
of money.
decent
Well,
Waste
to
of
be fair,
money.
you can be financially stable, and then if anything, it shows your financial stability
Yeah.
by choosing to
It's true.
buy something that's less expensive because
Something
you know it's not
practical.
necessarily. Yeah, it's practical because you don't need a $10,000 ring. But you
No,
could
I-
have 10 grand in the bank, but it's I'm not gonna spend that on a ring. I'll spend it on something useful. You know what I mean?
Especially if no one's balling in the situation, If
Yeah,
ever- if
but
it-
you
yeah.
can be well off enough to get married and provide and have a family and a house and all these things, and not give someone a ring that's more than it's
I
necessary.
don't know. I would just question if a guy can really afford to, pay for part of a wedding, a
Well,
house.
you would know that.
You could know
also.
his finances
And-
without...
Yeah, you would know his finances without being if you can't afford $10,000 ring, that means you don't have $10,000.
Yeah, well, I would just think he doesn't care that
But
much.
they're also, if he's in his
If he spends
mid-
100, I'm not even saying I think he should spend 10,000. I think that's ridiculous.
he's
I'm
in
just
his-
saying $100 just seems kind of tacky.
But
to
if he's
me.
in his mid to late 20s, there's also an element of investment there. You want to sort of back a good horse. Because if he's a guy who has potential in 10 years' time to be something quite special, and women can normally sort of pick that, then that's a good investment as well. Whereas in their 20s, they might not be, but they might have a really fierce entrepreneurial fire about them that you can see. But it's probably better to go for a guy like that doesn't have as much money now, but he's got a lot of ambition, than a guy who's sort of just coasting into a sort of a ceiling job. So it's another thing to think
I
about.
would agree, but I also think you probably shouldn't get married to a woman if you couldn't like potentially provide for a house.
Absolutely,
food,
but
kids.
that's not part of the ring question though. Like, would you personally buy a $10,000 object?
When did I say 10,000?
Okay, sorry, like $1,000.
I'm just saying not $100. Like I'm saying not, because when I think of $100, I think you go to Walmart and like there's just no thought, effort put into that at all. Like I want a man who wants to put effort and, you know, get me something nice. Like you only get one. I mean, I guess you can say, oh, I'm upgrading the ring later, but it's still like a pretty special thing. I'd want a man to put a little bit more effort.
If it's like
than
super cheap, it's just
$100.
low effort.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I think the effort should be shown in the ring and how like they pick it out.
Yeah.
Like it actually matches who you are. Obviously, you've heard the stories of like guys getting a girl like a gold ring and she only wears silver her whole life, and it's just like,
Yeah.
oh, you don't know me.
Well,
But
that
I
too,
think
for
that's
sure.
a different conversation than like, did you spend X amount of money equals your love for me? You know what I mean?
True. Look, if you love each other, you don't need to spend tens of thousands of dollars on a wedding ring to show it. If you don't love each other, no amount of money will change or improve your relationship. And the whole wedding ring thing, these holidays, or Valentine's Day, which is coming up, it's got nothing to do with love. I mean, it's just a commercial gimmick that's manufactured by corporations, compelling men, sometimes women too, to spend money on things they neither need nor want.
And I think it's
Do you guys
it's
like
actually
that? That's
counterproductive
good.
too, because it almost makes it sound like men should only be romantic on this random day that like Hallmark
yes.
decides, rather than like you should just be romantic all the
preach,
time. Like
preach, girl,
what?
preach.
Like don't.
Let's
let
get back to the
Hallmark,
bowing,
like-
though. Let's get back to the bowing. Okay,
Please
first
no.
off, look, again, I got to tackle this. Y'all want a dude to kneel, but you won't bow.
We could talk about what we're giving him. Like we're giving him like we're literally using our bodies. to
What's that
provide
quote from?
children,
What's the quote with the whole, I'd rather live on my knee. Wait, what is it?
I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees.
I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees. Who said that? Chat?
It's
Anybody
for
in the
like
chat?
3 seconds.
What is?
The proposal. You're
A
like,
bow is like nothing, though.
Loose Pussy Energy donated $100. These feminists have such a problem with bowing but will let Chads/Tyrones nut on their faces.
Hey, you stole this from
Get
me.
used to being
You
alone
stole
with
this
20
from me.
cats. Brian, Abdul is sending a large order of rocks. Hashtag Freenik number 8 at 18.
Get the rocks.
I don't think
Abdul? Yeah, get the rocks. Get the rocks.
Oh, free Nick.
I don't
Free-
think
hashtag
that's
free Nick.
fair because the people who are answering that question
Free
are
Nick or
the
Nick?
ones that are in that industry.
I coined this a couple shows ago, but you'll have women, typically like more liberal women, who but they're feminist, right? Who are like, I don't need no man, and like would never be like recoil at the thought of being submissive to a man or doing a bow, for example. Not even a bow. They just don't. They want to be independent boss babes. They're not open to following a man's lead, being submissive, whatever. They will gladly let a man come on their face, though. What the fuck? Like, I just want to bow, but you'll let a dude blast? Like, would you bow? You wouldn't bow, right?
Yeah,
Oh, you
probably,
would bow?
honestly. If
Okay.
somebody asked me, like, yeah, I mean, I can be like pretty submissive. Like, I don't know.
Okay. All right. It doesn't apply to you, but there's definitely like women out there who are like,
I
want
don't
a dude
know.
to come on their face, but oh no, he wants a bow, an innocent bow. That's where they draw the line. I love the bow thing. Everybody is very upset with the bowing. I don't know.
I don't know.
why.
I think it's kind of hot, like the bowing thing. Like, I think it could be
So-
like a hot thing. I don't know.
All right, she's redeemed her. The communist has redeemed herself.
But you also
She
don't have like
co-signs the
mutual
bow.
respect views with your partner, right? Like you're out with other guys while he's at home. So like I feel like that opinion, it only goes so far in the sense of like what you would or wouldn't do.
It's okay. It's a W.
I'm just saying,
You've got
I'm
a
just
W on this one.